welcome back to my channel. I know I look so stylish. I just got out of the shower and I figured let's do a get ready with me. Didn't want to have my hair wet, so I put it up in the little turban, and we'll see how it looks by the end of this video. It's been a really long time since I filmed a get ready with me. They tend to be really long, and I'm never sure how many people would be interested in looking at my face for like 30-40 minutes, but I decided let's do it. I'm gonna do a get ready with me using Shop My Stash items. I do have a lot of first impression products, and some products are not really new, but they're new to me. I just pulled them into my stash and figured let's use them. I will be using the Persona, the Color Theory pink palette, which is supposed to be ideal for brown eyes. I think brown and green. Was it just brown? I'm not sure. I will also be using the new Laura Mercier Flawless Lumiere Radiance Perfecting Foundation. I've used this guy maybe 2 or 3 times already, and I really enjoy it. I'll tell you my tips and tricks on how to make it not super full coverage. I am also gonna be using some more Laura Mercier products. I have 3 other Laura Mercier products. The Translucent Glow, which I'm gonna use as a highlighter. I watched Wayne Goss and he used this guy as a highlighter, but when I watched Emily Noel, she dusted it all over the face as a finishing powder. I'm gonna give it a shot as a highlighter. I haven't used it yet, so I don't know if it's highlighty enough. We'll see. And then I do have a bronzer and a finishing powder from her too, so we're gonna use those. I will also be comparing, I know, call me crazy, but I figured, you know what, I've been hearing that these two are dupes. So this is the Becca Backlight Priming Filter, and this is the Physicians Formula Spotlight Illuminating Primer. So I'm gonna do half of my face using each one of these, and then we'll see if they're actually dupes or not. So, long intro. If you would be interested in the video, and I'm sorry, I'm gonna tell you right off the bat, this is gonna be long, so if you really wanna watch it, go grab a snack, get a cup of coffee, or maybe get ready while I'm getting ready, and we can be getting ready together. So again, if you're interested in watching this video, if you're interested in this video, please keep on watching. Give it a big thumbs up and subscribe if you're new here, or if you're not subscribed yet. Wowza, let's get into it. I'm gonna start with my eyes. I'm gonna go ahead and prime my eyes with, I typically use the MAC Soft Ochre, the Prolong Wear Paint Pot in Soft Ochre. I've been using this guy for quite some time. I think I've been using it for at least 6 months straight, and I have a dip in there, but it doesn't seem like it's ever gonna end. I do have my mirror right here. I do not have a viewfinder on my camera, so I will be occasionally looking at my computer, making sure that everything is recording and that I'm in focus and not super washed out. So yeah, it's one of those days. It's Sunday. Typically I spend my Sunday with my husband and my son, but they went to my husband's aunt's house because they've been wanting to make cookies that she typically makes for Christmas, but she was sick for Christmas, and then my husband got sick, and then my son got sick. So we're what, January 6th, and now they're making Christmas cookies. Go figure. I decided to take advantage, and sorry, I dropped the lid. So I decided to take advantage and not go with them and take the time for myself. I need to take a shower. I wanted to film this video, and I gotta go grocery shopping and do some meal prep for the week. So yeah, that explains the hair. I didn't want to wait for it to completely dry before I sit down to film, because it does look really funny when it's completely wet. If you have curly hair, you know, it lays just flat until it dries, and then when it's dry, it looks decent. So I didn't want to wait until it completely dries. I just was like, okay, let's do this and film, and then I can go grocery shopping after. I feel like maybe I wasn't so much in focus. Hopefully it's a little bit better now. Alrighty, so I'm gonna try not to talk your ears off or not to take forever blending and whatnot, because I really gotta go grocery shopping and I want to take advantage of my solo day before my family comes back home. I do think they're gonna go out to lunch too though, so hopefully they'll be gone for a little while. Is that bad? I mean, do you guys ever wish just for time for yourself? Not really to do anything. Well, I guess I am doing something, but I really wanted just some alone time. So this is what the Persona palette looks like. It's absolutely stunning. Look at all these pinks, or what? This pink. What is it called in here? It's called fuchsia. Go figure. This is the palette I'm going to be using. Duh. I think I'm going to start with the taupe pink in my crease, and then a little bit with the other pink, and then yeah, we'll go through it. I'm grabbing a fluffy brush. It's not clean by any means, but oh well. It's pretty nice that this little palette comes with a little mirror. It's not a big mirror, but I guess it's enough to see your eyes. Yeah, it looks pretty decent to see my eyes. Yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and pick up some of that taupe pink, and then go all over my crease, and I'll probably drag it a little bit above the crease and a little bit below. So I don't know if I'm gonna be doing both. Well, I'll show you one eye, and then I'm gonna have to, like, just to keep these videos somewhat short, I'm gonna have to edit out me doing the other eye. Again, I don't know how many people are really interested in watching these long videos like this. They typically to be the videos that get the least views on my channel. Maybe I'm not interesting enough when I'm talk. So, but I really wanted to do this. I have been getting some requests to do get ready with me using my shop my stash. So I'm doing that. Okay, so that color is all over the crease on my first eye. I'm gonna go ahead and move to my other eye. It'll either be sped out or edited out. Alrighty, now that I have that color, which was taupe pink, all over my crease and a little bit above my crease, I'm gonna go a little bit more into the crease. And I'm gonna use the shade pink. I'm gonna use a little bit more pointy fluffy brush, blending brush, but it's just a little bit more pointy so I can actually get the pink exactly in the crease. I don't want it to go too much up, but I don't want it going a little bit down. So in the crease and a little bit down. Hopefully that makes some sense. That's what that is looking like. I don't know, sometimes when you use pink as eyeshadow, you look kind of sickly, but last week I was using the Urban Decay Naked Cherry. Okay, it's not super cherry. I felt like it was more pink than cherry, and I actually like the looks when I really deepened them. So I did very like deep pinks. And it looks good, so I figured let's pull out this thing and then use it again. I'm gonna do the other eye again. It might be edited out. Alrighty, so now that I have the second shade into my crease, I'm gonna go in and straight with the darkest one, which is the burgundy. I think for that I'm gonna use the brush that came with the kit. Looks pointy enough that will go really in the outer V. I'm gonna pick some of that up and I'm gonna go straight into my outer V. Yeah, let's try that. Ooh, I like this shade. Feels so much like their actual my first experience with Persona Cosmetics was the Identity palette. Is that what it's called? And I just beat myself up for not trying it sooner. I had it in my collection for what felt like forever, but I hadn't reached for it in like so long. I finally pulled it into my stash probably like a month or two. Can't remember exactly when I pulled it into my stash, and I was just blown away. So when this guy was on sale, or this kit was on sale at Ulta, did I pick it up with when it was on sale, or did I pick it up with a 20% and some points? Anyway, so I picked this guy up because I really like the Identity palette. I think at this point so far I like the Identity palette a little bit more. I don't know, I'm not so wowed. Okay, so that shade, I put it into my crease or my outer V, and I pulled it in a little bit inside. I do like darker shades. I'm gonna go ahead and use another fluffy brush in a little bit and then blend all these shades together so we don't have harsh lines. But I'm gonna go ahead and do the other eye real quick, and then we'll get back to blending the shades together. Okay, now I'm gonna go ahead and reach back to the brush that I used for the second shade I used, which was the pink, without picking up any more color on the brush, just whatever was left over from before. I'm gonna try and smudge out a little bit of that deep burgundy into the crease and just diffuse it a little bit so it's not super like harsh lines or anything like that. Here's where we at right now. I think I'm gonna go back to taupe pink, which is that first shade that I used, and I'm gonna go back and smudge a little bit under my brow. So I'm gonna lift it up a little bit because I feel like I have a little gap of shade over here. I don't know if it's very noticeable, but I feel like there's a little bit like a little bit of patchiness kind of. So I'm gonna try and remedy that. I don't know if it's just me with the lighting that I'm working with right now that seems that way, but okay, I'm gonna do that for the other eye. Before I work with the lid and all that, I'm gonna go ahead and prime my face. Like I said, I'm gonna be using two different primers today. I'm gonna put one of them on one side and the other one on the other side. So I guess this side is gonna be the Physicians Formula and this side is gonna be the Becca. This guy is new to my collection. I haven't tried it before, so I'm curious to see how it is. This is what it looks like. Okay, I guess it's kind of resembling the Becca one. So we'll see. Ooh, I'm gonna be glowing. Does have a little bit of a scent. I can't put my fingers on it. I'm gonna rub that guy in. Oh, I think I'm gonna need a little bit more. Well, I guess no, not really. I guess I could have used a different primer before these because this is very glowy. Let me wipe off some of that lip oil that I had on my lips. They were so chapped. I switched to using a nighttime moisturizer that has AHA in it. So I feel like it travels and it really gets the outside corners of my lips. Makes them really dry and really chapped. Okay, now for the other side, I'm going to use the Becca one and we'll see how this is. Now, I have used one of these previously, but this specific one is new, so. But I've used a whole one of these before, and that's what this looks like. They kind of look very similar, don't they? Let's see what they look like on the face. This side is pretty glowy, and then let's go ahead and apply this guy over here. And yeah, it definitely has a little bit more pleasant scent than the Physicians Formula one. But I guess the more important part would be, do they actually perform the same or look the same? All right, you guys, what do we think? I think I look a little bit like a Tin Man, but that's okay. I love to glow. So now I'm gonna go back to my eyeshadow. I really would like for my primer to settle into my face, become one with my skin. So I'm gonna go to my eyeshadow, and I really want to use that fuchsia shade all over my eyelid. See if I have a brush that's somewhat clean. I'm so bad with this, you guys. I really need to clean my brushes. I put it off and put it off and put it off until like, okay, I really have to do it. So I don't know if I should use a spray. I guess we'll see how it looks. I grabbed a kind of like a packing brush. I almost dropped the palette. I guess I shouldn't put it in my lap. So a little bit of a packing brush. This is what this guy looks like. It's like skinny on one side and, you know, boom, boom. I'm gonna go into that fuchsia shade. I'm gonna pick up, I guess, a decent amount. And I'm just gonna dab it into the eye. Ooh, dab it onto the eyelid Wow, this is actually pretty damn pigmented, and looks like it transferred pretty much the same color as it looks in the pan. Looks like in the pan. Oh, I do have some fallout. I didn't have any fallout with the other shades, but this shade do have some fallout. I'm gonna have to clean that up before applying some concealer. Okay. All right, I'm gonna do the other eye, and then we will work on blending everything together. I think I look a little crazy, don't I? That is okay. Let's do some blending, huh? Let's diffuse those colors together. I'm gonna go in with the last brush that I used, which came in the Persona brush. I don't think I'm gonna pick up any more burgundy. I'm gonna try and use it as it is, without any extra color. I'm gonna try to blend the fuchsia pink on the edges a little bit. So like this, basically. I feel like I completely dragged that color and see, it's not as, yeah, I guess, well, go over it. Oh well. Let's do the other eye, and then I might just have to go back into the fuchsia again. Okay, here's where we are now. I don't know, I feel like this look is, I'm struggling with this eyeshadow palette, you guys, but it's okay. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's a little bit patchy over here, especially on this one eye. I don't know why. I don't know how this eye is looking. It's not so bad. It's not as patchy as it's looking over here. I can't seem to get it to blend out very well, or to like fix that patchiness. I do want it to be a little bit more pink, but I'm gonna try and wet my brush. So I went ahead and got like a setting spray. I'm gonna go back and grab some of that fuchsia shade with my brush, and then I'm gonna spritz my brush and see how that works. I guess here goes nothing. All right, let's see. Oh god, I feel like I sprayed too much. My brush is too wet now. Oh god, isn't it funny how things just get effed really easily? Okay, that's a little bit better. It's definitely deep. I don't mind deep. Especially when I'm just going to the grocery store. Alright, I'm gonna do the same for the other eye. Yeah, I'm gonna move on. I'm gonna move on to the face, and then we'll just have to figure out the eyes after we do the lower lash line. So it's definitely primed, and my primer has set. It's not greasy or anything like that. I'm gonna go in with the MERCIER Flawless Lumiere Radiance Perfecting Foundation. When I picked this guy up, it did say that it is medium to full coverage. If you're new to my channel, I really like to go for light to medium coverage. I don't like very full coverage because, I mean, it looks really nice when you're filming, but when day-to-day life, it just looks too heavy. I went in with one pump. It's not a lot of product with one pump, and that is okay. I'm barely gonna apply any of this product. I'm gonna start with like the center of my face. I'm grabbing my beauty blender. Are you proud of me? Look how clean. This is the cleanest this guy has ever been. And I'm just gonna blend that foundation. I want it as sheer as it could be, and I guess now it's super duper sheer. I'm gonna have to go in with another pump of this foundation. I gotta say the pump is really not a whole lot of product, so that's pretty good if you really want to go very light-handed. Not too much product. I feel like it's looking pretty much the same on both sides of my cheeks with that primer. I still feel glowy. And this is supposed to be a glowy foundation. I have used it a couple times already, and I gotta say, the first time I used it, I was like, oh, this doesn't look glowy at all. I felt like it looked pretty matte, but after it settled on my face and, like, you know, set, for about an hour or so. It looked so beautiful. I was blown away. Okay, can you see? Basically 2 pumps, and I don't consider this full coverage. I still feel like my skin is peeking through. It's looking a lot more even, a lot more, you know, like cleared out. My primer is still peeking through, which is I'm really happy about because I wanted that glow to show. So I'm pretty happy with it. I probably could go with a 3rd pump. Maybe we should try that. Let's try a 3rd pump, see if this guy would be buildable. But in day-to-day life, I would be happy with just the 2 pumps and just moving on. But let's go ahead and try to build it up, especially on like this area where I do have a little bit. I guess I just put it all over my face. Okay, so now that I build it up, I still don't feel like this is full coverage. I don't find it heavy on my face, which I'm really happy about. Just for reference, I have oily skin and I'm kind of like light to medium, but in the winter time, I'm definitely light, neutral undertone. Well, neutral to warm. So the shade that I do have is 2N2 linen, just for reference. And yes, I'm combination to oily, depends on my skincare. And in the winter time, it's kind of a little bit less oily. So this is a perfect for right now. I feel like it matches me pretty well too. See, I can still see like a little bit of an acne spot right there, which is, to me, I like that. I don't want to look like I'm wearing a mask. I don't want my husband to be like, you have too much makeup on. I will be setting that in a little bit, but let's go ahead and move to concealer. And for concealer, I'm using the Tarte Shape Tape. I have the shade Light Medium Honey, and I'm just gonna go in very lightly today. I don't want too much concealer on. Blended it under my eye. Let's do the other eye, and then I'm gonna highlight a little bit the center of my face. Okay, so with whatever is left on my sponge from the stuff that's under my eye, I'm gonna go ahead and press it on the outside of my nose, like this little part of my nose where I do have a little bit of redness. I'm gonna press it in the middle here to brighten up the inner corner of my eye. I'm gonna look up so I can get all of those creases under my eye. I'm gonna use a little bit more to highlight my forehead, not a lot, and then a little bit on my chin. I feel like with this concealer, a little bit goes a very long way. You don't need to draw like a big old triangle. I chose to use this concealer because I'm working on panning it. I want to finish it. I've had it for a really long time. I spent a lot of money on it right when it was super hyped up on YouTube. I bought it, well, I guess not that long ago. I waited a while before purchasing it, but I need to use it before it goes bad. And like I said, a little bit with this product goes a very long way. Okay, now that my concealer is blended, I'm gonna use the other side of my beauty blender to kind of go in between the concealer and the foundation so it all looks seamless. Okay, I'm gonna set under my eye, and for that I'm gonna go with a $1 setting powder, and this is the AOA Studio Perfecting Setting Powder, and I have the shade Brightening, which is a little bit of peach. I'm just gonna pick up a little bit with my e.l.f. small tapered brush. I'm gonna pick up a little bit. I'm gonna swirl it all over the lid, tap off any excess. I'm gonna look up and set under my eye. I'm not doing any baking, just light setting. With the Tarte Shape Tape, you really don't need to go too heavy-handed with the, or for me at least. I don't feel like I really need to use too much powder under my eye because it does set pretty nicely, but it definitely would crease if you don't set it, or for me, because I do have those very fine lines under my eyes. So I really need to set it, but I don't need to bake with it. And there you have it, setting under my eye. I'm gonna set my nose because that usually is where my foundation disappears the quickest. I'm pressing whatever's left on the brush onto my nose. Okay, moving on, I want to set I would like to set that foundation. And this is the first time we're using this product, so I'm pretty excited. This is the Laura Mercier Candle Glow Sheer Perfecting Powder, and this is the shade 2. When I tried this guy in store, I felt at Sephora, I felt like it reminded me a lot of the Hourglass ambient lighting powders. So I think they're about the same price. I'm gonna pick up just a little bit of this guy with a Real Techniques powder brush. I'm just gonna press it into the powder. It's very soft product, so it did go a little bit all over the place, and I'm just gonna lightly press that all over my face. It's not as glowy as the Hourglass ambient lighting powders, you know, but it is very fine, like finely milled. I'm gonna use a little bit more for my forehead. This brush is gigantic. I think this might be my first time using this brush, actually. I'm gonna go ahead and do my brows real quick off camera. I'm gonna fill them in. I'm gonna use some brow mascara, and we'll come back and we'll do the lower lash line. We are gonna use that Persona eyeliner, so I'll be back. I use the NYX Micro Brow Pencil, and the shade is Brunette, and I use the Ulta Beauty Brow Tint in medium to kind of fill in the rest. Now I want to move on to my lower lash line. I want to finish up the eyes, and then we'll go ahead and finish the face. Like I said, I do want to use the Persona eye pencil, and the shade is Plump. I'm gonna pull my eye open, and I'm gonna apply that color all in my waterline. When I tried it on my hand, it was very pigmented, very creamy, but I don't find that it's transferring very well onto my eye. Or at least the water, not on the waterline. I guess another way I could do it is this way. No. Okay, I tried my best. I think this might be more suitable for like smudging, but not in the waterline. Anyways, I'm okay with that. I'm gonna go ahead and get that fuchsia, the brush that I use for the fuchsia shade. I'm not gonna pick any product with it. I'm just gonna smudge that color. Now that that is smudged, I am gonna go and pick up, let's see, I'm gonna get the shade Burgundy. I'm gonna pick just a little tiny bit with the Persona brush, just like on the tip of the brush. So like tipping it into the shadow this way, and I'm gonna smudge going from outward in because I want the most color outward. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Trying to look up so I can get really the bottom of my eye. I feel like I could stop over here with the eyes, but I want a little bit more. So again, with the same brush, the Persona brush, because it's pretty pointy, I'm gonna go in and pick some of that fuchsia shade, just a little tiny bit. And I'm gonna smudge it like really little tiny bit. And I'm gonna smudge it, but this time I'm gonna work from the middle into the eye, from like the center of the lower lash line into the inner corner. I'm gonna do that, and then I'm gonna bring it outward a little bit. I feel like I'm finally happy with the way the eyes look. I'm not gonna keep messing with it because I feel like if I keep messing with it, I'm just gonna keep pulling off color. I do want to highlight under my brow, and for that I'm just gonna use like a little skinny brush, and I'm gonna go in with the shade Blush that they have in the Persona palette, picking up just a little tiny bit. It's actually a pretty creamy shade, and I'm gonna go in straight under the brow, like the highest point under the brow. I'm gonna move out and then a little bit in. And now the last step is I'm gonna go in with the first biggest fluffy brush. I'm gonna blend that out a little tiny bit. There you have it. I'm finally done with the eyes. Wow, they usually take me the longest. Bronzer. Again, we are gonna go into the Laura Mercier Baked Bronzer. It says Baked Blush Bronzer. So I'm gonna, this is my first time using it. I've only swatched it. It looks absolutely stunning. I'm gonna go ahead and use the Real Techniques. It is a blush brush. Look, I just repressed the product and I used the bottom of it. It is a blush brush, but I do like to use this guy for bronzer. I'm gonna pick up a little bit of that color because I really don't know how it's gonna look, so I don't wanna go very heavy-handed. Just picked up a little bit. I'm gonna apply it a little bit over the hollows of my cheek and then blend it upwards. Okay, I'm gonna pick up a little bit more and I'm gonna bronze up the rest of my face. tie it in all together so I don't look like I have the darkest bronzer on my cheeks, but the rest of my face is all like white. That was not gonna look good. And I'm gonna bronze up bottom side of my face, my jawline. Okay, I do know that since the bronzer is pretty high up or pretty deep, I'm gonna go ahead and go in with the Hourglass Ambient Strobe Lighting Blush, and this is in Incandescent Electra. It's gonna be very subtle, but that's okay. My bronzer is pretty deep, so hopefully that's gonna even it out. Oh yeah, this is a Vasanti brush. I think I've washed it too many times that the name is just washed out. I think the combination of those two products is pretty nice because the bronzer, I did drag it into a little bit into a blush, and then I topped it with a very light blush. So I think the combinations looks nice. Now we are gonna go ahead and test this guy as a highlight. And this is the Laura Mercier Translucent Loose Powder in Glow. It is pretty new, well, it's brand new, so it still has the little thing on it. So let me go ahead and take this guy off. I don't like to waste too much product, especially when a product's expensive like this. I'm gonna put the lid back on, I'm gonna flip it over, tap it, and then I should have just the perfect amount that I need. I am gonna use, let's use this brush, and this is the Real Techniques setting brush. I'm just gonna pick up some of whatever's on the lid, pack my brush with whatever's on the lid, swirl it, tap off, and then do it again. So I want the powder to go really into the bristles. And let's try it. Oh, if we don't like it as a highlight, we're gonna have to go get another highlight from my... Ooh, never mind. We don't need to go shopping my stash for a highlighter or opening my everyday makeup drawer for a highlighter. That looks so beautiful, so natural looking. Wow, I'm impressed. I'm gonna do the same for the other side. And don't you worry, we are gonna blend all that in together so we don't look like we have just a clear or a stripe. I love how natural it looks. Where'd you go, Angos? You taught me something. I'm gonna go back to my blush brush. I'm just gonna very lightly diffuse that so it looks somewhat natural. I don't want it to look like I have a stripe, but I'm loving it. And now what I'm gonna do, because I really want it to look natural, I'm gonna go back to the brush that I used for setting under my eye. I'm not picking up any product on it. It is pretty clean. And I'm just very lightly gonna do this. I tend to drag my highlight pretty down here, and sometimes that looks a little bit unnatural. So I'm just cleaning it up slightly without adding any product. And then cleaning up the bronzer so I don't look like I have a beard. I'm very happy with the look. At first when I started this video I thought it was gonna be a total disaster. I'm gonna set my face and I'm gonna apply some mascara, and then I'll be back. I'll pick out a lip color. I don't know what lip color we're gonna use, but I'll pick out a lip color. Maybe I'll apply it off camera, maybe I'll apply it on camera. Anyways, I'll set my face. I guess let's just go ahead and do that without me having to talk about it. And I am using the Morphe Continuous Setting Spray. I used it yesterday, and oh my god, I was like, whoa, I know what the hype's all about. So, it is so soothing, but it's kind of like using a hairspray. Alrighty, now I'm gonna go ahead and go off camera, apply some mascara, and then grab a lip product, and we'll come back, we'll apply it, and then maybe I'll put my hair down and we'll see what we're looking like. Okie dokie, you guys, I went ahead and put some mascara on. I did put my hair down. It's still a little moist, but we're just gonna go with it. I figured for lip color, I'm gonna keep it very, very simple. So I'm just gonna go ahead and use the Fenty Beauty Gloss Bomb and Fenty Glow, which is like the original one. My lips have been really chapped and I don't want to use any liquid lipstick or anything like that. Oh, I love the scent of this. And there you have it. There's my final look. using a lot of Laura Mercier products, a lot of new products in my collection. I feel like those two primers are, I mean, both sides of my face, because I looked at myself a little bit closer in the mirror, I feel like both sides of my face look exactly the same. When I did apply both of these primers, they look the same on my face. The only thing that I'm gonna say is I'm gonna wait till the end of the day and see if they, you know, if it actually, like my foundation wears down the same way. But so far I'm gonna say these are definitely, you know, I would highly recommend this foundation. This is, like I think this is the 4th time I use it, and I guess I've failed to mention this when I was applying it, but when I used it last time, I applied it at about 10, 11 in the morning, and I took off my makeup around 8 in the evening. My makeup looked exactly the same. It didn't wear off. Usually I would have like my foundation wear down on my chin, a little bit on my nose. I do tend to touch my face. I hug my son and all that. And we actually went out that evening. It was Friday night and today is Sunday. And we actually went out, like I took him, I went playing with my son, and when I came back home, I looked at my face and I was like, wow, it still looks exactly the same how I applied it at 10 in the morning. Looked a little bit more dewy, but it's expected because it's supposed to be a radiance perfecting foundation, and I do like to look dewy, so I obviously topped it with dewy products, kind of like how I did illuminating products. So I am very pleased with this guy. Maybe 4 times is not enough to say that it's a great product, but so far I have been loving it. I would totally recommend it. I don't know how long it's been at Sephora, but I picked it up last week. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know it's probably gonna be super long when I edit it. If you like to see more of these videos, please let me know in the comments below. Again, give it a big thumbs up, subscribe, and if you have any comments or anything like that, let me know in the comments below. I'd love to chat with you, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye!